Hey guys, it's Shannon. Today I just wanted to share the process for my new little 5x8 project that I'm making. It's gone through many name iterations, but at the moment I'm just calling it Daily Delights. I do have, just a quick plug, in my shop the templates for this. If you want to do something similar, let me find them. There they are. So I've just called them Daily Delights templates, and they come in 5x8 and 6x8. And it's just a simple way for me to take a photo or story or both a day and make a little page. That's the idea behind it. I had originally planned also that sometimes I might not even have a photo and can just do a little bit of journaling. And the idea is just to find something in the day or off my camera roll that I just think is worth documenting in a little 5x8 book. If you want to do, I've got 6x8 templates as well if you want to do it in an actual album. But I like the 5x8 trade books, which I've talked about many times from Blurb, and that's what I hope that these will turn into at some stage. So I'll just show you a couple of the ones I've done previously. This is my little folder of Daily Delights, and the idea is just to take a photograph and do a date and a time and pretty much a little bit of handwritten journaling there. And I've done the handwriting in Procreate. I'll go through that after I do a couple of pages and show you my process there. But it's very simple, as you can see. I'm not worried if I skip a day or two, and that's fine. But I am finding I probably do have, 5 to 7 decent photos or stories to use in a week. I'm also not worried if it's, say, Wednesday and I have 3 really good photographs and then nothing till Saturday, to spread those out in the week. I'm not one to kind of tell lies in my scrapbooking and say we went here on this day when we didn't. But if it's something generic, like a selfie or food photo or something like that, listening to music, I'm happy to switch it out to the next day. So anyway, that's the idea of that. So my process for this project is pretty simple. I'm generally doing it in batches. It's so simple that I'm not going to do kind of one a day. It just would barely be worth coming and sitting down for. So I'm generally sitting down, doing 5 to 7 at a time. And what I do is get a notepad. I'll go through and have a look at the last one I made. So what date was the very last one? And then I'll just write on my notepad, say the next 7 days, the day and the date. Then I go through Lightroom, have a look at what photos I want to use, and just jot down next to the date on my piece of paper which photos, bring them all into Photoshop Elements, and then get started on making the actual pages. So it's a pretty simple process. All I'm doing is choosing a template that kind of matches the photo and isn't too similar to the one before. I just like to keep, when you're turning through the pages of my books, that you're not having the exact same configuration page after page. That's the only kind of concern I have. I'm just mixing around. So sometimes the photo's at the top, sometimes it's at the bottom, a full photo, all that kind of thing. I'm just trying to mix it up as I go along, not following any specific rule or anything like that. So how I start generally is just to bring a previous one in. I've got the templates as well, but I always find just working on a previous thing, as long as you remember to save as, which, hello, that's really important because you don't want to lose what you've done. So what I'm going to do when I look at my little notes here, I've got, okay, the next one I'm doing is Friday the 18th, which is party prep. So I had a really big 50th birthday party on the weekend of the 19th of November. It was fantastic. It was fun. Everything was great. And then on Sunday, I woke up with COVID, having had no symptoms and feeling very well on the Saturday, which put a real damper on the thing because I just felt so terrible to have passed COVID on to some people. But it's just one of those things. So that's going to be a story in here. But starting off with the party prep page, I just had this photograph. And for these photos, I'm just, doing really simple things. And it's only one photo a day. So I'm just going to mask that one over the top of the other one. And that's pretty much done. And then I change the date. So I want, sometimes my computer is so sluggish today. So you will notice that as we go. So I want to say that this is Friday the 18th of November, which it is, 2022. And this is the afternoon, I would say. So I'm going to say 4 you know, these are not strictly, it doesn't matter. You can get your times off your photos if you want to be really strict about it, but I really don't care. I just know this was the afternoon. You'll see the font I'm using for that is called Just Another Stamp font. I think it's a free one I found. And I'm doing my journaling in handwriting in Procreate. If you wanted to do your handwriting not in Procreate and you were doing 6x8 pages in a proper album, you could just go ahead and print it out without any journaling and handwrite it in later. I just get very funny about things fitting in. It's ridiculous and perfectionism and horrible, but also I'm making a digital book, so doing it this way is pretty much the only way I'm going to get my handwriting in. If you buy those templates, here I go again with the sales talk, I've included journaling there as text, so you can just take that out and put your handwriting if you want to do the same thing, or, you know, type in your journaling as well, which is always quicker. This is kind of one extra step. And I'll go through how I do that in Procreate. But what I'll do for now, so I'll just turn that off. And that's basically Friday the 18th saved. Then I want to go to the actual date of the party. So what I will do is go into my previous ones and just have a look. So I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. I'm just going to try and see. So this one's kind of a bottom photo, and I'm going to use, I might do something like this. Hang on, what else have we got? Maybe this one. So something like this. So I'm just kind of saving over the top. And what I like is that the text on one is at the top and the text on the next is on the bottom. It's really a ridiculous way of changing things up, but, you know, it works for me. So I'm going to call this one 70. And so that will be my next one. This is going to be my actual birthday party. So again, let's turn off that. I'm going to change this to Saturday. So this is really simple work. It's kind of mindless work. So I think these kind of projects are good, you know, when you've got music playing or you're doing other things, because it doesn't really take much craftiness at all once you get going. So, you know, I can't talk and type, and I'm going to say the time for this photo is probably about 3 p.m. And the photo in question is this little smiley one of myself. So my birthday party was Palm Springs. Palm Springs pool party was the theme. And that I might actually make that. So what I can do is grab the lines, the time, that as one piece, drag it down, because I don't really need to say that much about this photo, to be honest. So I might do that, and then it gives me a little bit more space. Hang on, what I'm using is underneath kind of photos everywhere. Let's get rid of this one. Then I'm kind of using this black and white photo as the photo mask. So I'll drag it down, which obviously stretches out, but we're not using it. We're just using it as a mask. And then when I put that in, it gives a bit more space, which is better. I'm going to move that down again a little more. I just like things to breathe. And there we go again. So that is another one done. That's number, 70. Back to consulting my list, and I'm going to tick them off as I make them. So I've done the 18th, I've done the 19th. So the 20th, as I've already told you, was the day of COVID arriving, and I haven't had COVID at all. Everybody else has had COVID but me. So I've got this. I'm going to use this because I know I've got a square. This is a cute photo my husband took of me. Find the sunshine, and look, the sunshine is right there. I just like it. I found it on his Instagram. Oh, this is another case of me being lazy. So I've got 100 photos in here. That's okay. I'll also, again, turn off this just so I don't think it's current. I'm going to say Sunday, 20 November 2021, 22. And I'm going to say probably like 8 a.m. Look at that. And I have, sadly, that little COVID test photo. Oh, I've lost him. Okay, I had one. Let's go down to my photos. Here's one. Look at these sick ones. I'm going to use that later. Let's go right up the top because I did make sure I had some lightened up. Okay, it's a bit blurry, but it doesn't matter. It's just for me, this project, pretty much. So there we go. I'm going to drag him up. So as you know, in digital scrapbooking, you need to put your photo above your photo mask, which is the, don't do that, which is that little blue square here. And I'm just shrinking it a little bit so it's not so. I'm going to put it up there, mask that in. And, oh, what have we got? Two things connected there. Okay. So that will do. So that's going to be, remember to save as, gosh. That's going to be number 71. I'm still not feeling 100%, which is why I sound kind of awful. So save that. Then I'm going to tick it off in my little book that Sunday the 20th is done. Then my next photo is going to be that awful photo of me looking really sick. So let's go back to what we've done. So we've got a square, we've got that, we've got this. Maybe something, you know, I'm trying to mix the shapes up a little bit. What's that one? I can really overthink this. It gets a bit ridiculous. And you kind of have to work with what you have as well. So 66, okay, I'm going to do it like this. But I might change it up a little bit. Let's get it in. Let's save, ooh, I like to have it snapped in there so it's by itself. Save this one as 72. And I might take this whole photo out and see where how my photo fits in. And it's just this awfully sad, sorry for herself person. And also this was my actual birthday. And my family all went to leave the house and forgot that it was my birthday because so much had happened. And it was only that my daughter remembered. So that happens, like a 16 candles moment. Then I'm so sick and then I'm home alone and I'm guilty because I've been sick with people around and it just really sucked. So this is the photo you get. So I'm going to say Monday, 21 November 2022. And this, I'm just going to say whatever, 12 p.m. There we go. I go into my thing and I tick that off. Then I want to find another sort of, I like to keep going back to what I've done and just make sure I am mixing it up a little bit so it's sort of looking like this in the book. I might do something like this. It's that one, yeah. Yeah, like this one. Bring this one in and of course save as 73. Hey, isn't that funny that my birthday was page 72 and that's the year of my birth? So there you go, serendipity. So one of my birthday gifts, which I couldn't even open until like day 3, were these monogrammed PJs my girlfriends gave me, and what a perfect gift for a sick person. So I had to send her a photo in my monogrammed PJs. I'm going to just bring them up again. That'll do. Let's not get too crazy. Tuesday, and I keep looking back at my notes because how would I remember anything? And I probably took this in the afternoon. You know when you're sick and you get into the sick rhythm, so you have your afternoon shower and your fresh clothes to try and make you feel better and you remake your bed. You know, that is a thing. All right, so that one saved. Tick that off. Just I'll do a couple more, and you get the gist already. So let's look at a thing we haven't done. So I've got that one, that one, that one. What's this? So if I go, I want something where the writing is at the top. I might use this. Again, I've used this one before, but I kind of changed it out depending on my photo. So this one will be 74. Save. This will be the last one I do because I really think I'm beating a dead horse with telling you guys how I'm making these pages. What I want in here, I found this gorgeous Doris and Rock photo because I was watching a lot of old movies. And when you're feeling unwell, Doris Day and Rock Hudson are the cure, I can tell you that. So it depends on how much my journaling is, but what I generally would do, get rid of these bits that we don't need. I would generally kind of maybe bring this whole thing down. And it just means everything, has a nice kind of different look. Yes, I've saved that as a different thing. So now I have a bunch of pages ready to go for my journaling. As I said, you could definitely just go with the, add a text. Gosh, my poor mouse. My mouse is not going very well. My husband says Apple mice are the worst. But, I'm a stickler. I've got my Mac, I need my Apple mouse. So here we go, you could type in your journaling here and that would look perfectly fine. But I just wanted to have handwriting in this one because my handwriting as a digital scrapbook, it doesn't get to go in the projects much. And this is an easy way to do it because I'm doing batches. So I will go off from here and go onto my iPad and show you the process of bringing in the journaling. Okay, so here we have my iPad, and what I like to use for all of my drawing and text and handwriting and things like that is Procreate, which is a very cool little product you can buy for your iPad. Very worth the money. What I have done here is airdropped a blank version of my little page. You can see I've got the date and everything up the top there. Because I'm on a Mac and on an iPad, I can airdrop things back and forth very easily. If you don't have a Mac, I'm sure you can figure out a way to get them from one to the other. So there's Dropbox, there's emailing, all those different kind of ways. But it's just very simple for me to go back and forth. What I've done there, I've got the heading up so I can just basically tell where my handwriting needs to go. And this is just a blank version of what we've been working on. I just airdropped it to myself and save it in there. So it's a 5x8 and I'm going to use that sort of over and over again, you'll see. So I just create a new layer, when I'm doing anything. What I've got there is the drawing guide, and that just gives you those lines. They don't get printed or come out in your document, but they're there to help you draw. So I just add in a new layer there and I'm starting, from scratch. And I just want to do my journaling, as many as I can kind of fit on the page, and those lines help me figure out where it needs to go. I'm terrible at writing from this angle, so I will probably redo this again, but I'm writing really basic kind of comments and journaling for this project. After a very few busy days, we are finally at the fun, part of party prep, and that's enough. Like, it doesn't need to be huge. Sometimes I've done longer journaling, but that's pretty much it. I'm just using the technical pen, I think, for this one as well. I don't have any special kind of extra Procreate pens or anything at the moment, or brushes. And then what I'll do is leave a gap and go to the next one. So I'm again consulting that list that I have and going through so I know, okay, what photo am I talking about? What story am I talking about? And I'm just writing really brief notes in my handwriting. I prefer to write with this on my lap, sitting on a chair, like on my armchair. That's just the way I like to write. Writing sort of standing up and doing this as I'm filming it isn't very natural to me, but you get the gist. This is what I'm doing, and I'm not doing anything, no earth-shattering journaling, just a nice little caption to go with each of the photos. such an easy way to write, you know, and know that it's going to fit exactly where you need it to fit. For a perfectionist like me, it's really a good way to do it. Then when I want to send it, so there we go, that's just a little close up. When I want to send it, I will share it. First of all, what you need to do is turn that background off, actually. There's my face. So I've got a blank background underneath, and I've got my words, and I'm sending it to myself as a PNG without the background. So all I'm getting is the lettering. So here we have my Mac. So because I airdropped it to myself, it'll show up in my downloads, and I sent it to myself as a PNG, as I said. What that means is it will have a transparent background, and I know that it fits exactly with these lines because I use that as a basis. So let's go back to that party prep one, which was this one. Okay, we'll keep that out like that. And then we want to have the journaling up as well. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to open that one as well. So I want that, and I want this. Which one do I want? Where is it? What am I doing? Okay, that's what I want. So all I need to do then is, because I've got them in pieces, I'm just making sure I'm on that layer. I'm going to get my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to select just this part. You know, if you wanted to do it on your iPad as all separate ones and bring them in by themselves, you could, but this is just quicker for me because I can, you know, do 6 or so pieces of journaling on the one little 5x8 and then drag them in. So I'm just hitting Control-C for copy. I'm coming over here and Command V for paste. Bring it right up the top because it's obviously behind the photo. And this is where I fiddle around a bit with my things. So that's where I want. See, the writing is horrendous because in that position I was in over there, I can't write. So what I want to do, let's put it there. Obviously this needs to move up. And this is just where I'm kind of spacing things generally. And something like that. So now that will become a finished page. And it's the same, you know, again. So what have I got here? My birthday party thing. Where's that one? Here we go. And I want my thingy back. So again, make sure you're on that layer. Get your rectangular marquee, the very best time at my birthday party. I'm going to think these through a bit better because these are kind of really lame as I'm doing it. But pasted that in, bring it up. And, you know, sometimes I put the text on top of a photo if I've done a full page. You know, and I'll make that fit. I'll probably change that to just a one-liner so I can keep the photo like that. But that's generally how I'm going with this project. It's pretty fun. I'm going to enjoy this, I think, as a little 5x8 book. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for. So I started in October when I finished my other project, and I just felt myself languishing a bit and thinking, okay, what can you do that's easy, you know, for the next couple of months? I'm going to do December daily as well. So I think I'll do both. I think I'll keep this up in December because these are probably different kinds of photos. My December daily I'm making really simple as well, and I'm pretty much using one photo a day. So I'm sure I can kind of have some more everyday things in this and then let my December daily be my December daily. I don't know if I'm going to go October to October or just when I don't feel like doing it anymore. But I'm pretty good at continuing on with things just because I'm really stubborn. So I think I'll do this at least for 6 months, see how that goes. It's pretty fun. It's something, even if I dropped out of it for a while, I think, you know, I could easily catch up a month or two, you know, over a quiet weekend. So that is that. That is my Daily Delights project, even though I've changed the name a few times. There were some things in there, obviously, like my COVID, that is not delightful. So do I call it Daily Delights? I don't know. The point was to try and find one thing a day to note or photograph. And, you know, that's how I'm going. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. The whole Procreate thing is very simple for me on the Mac. You know, you guys can figure out how you would do it if you're not on a Mac. I know people use Dropbox, people email things to themselves. There's different ways you can get things back to each other. But I think the way I kind of put this up the top and then sent this to my Procreate and opened it up as a photo inside made it very easy for me to know exactly where my text is going to go. So that's a good little tip there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you all soon. Bye.